Hey, what's up, guys? I'm out here in the garden, and it's just rained quite hard, and it's been real hot for a while, and we finally are getting some rain. And I was coming out and looking at the garden, and I just decided that my squash plants needed some lime, so I went ahead and got some dolomitic garden lime out and did a circle around them. But what I wanted to show you is these tomato plants. There's 3 of them. I know for a fact this lime is not going to hurt them. I haven't really given them any or barely any lime anyway this year. And once again, this is dolomitic pulverized garden lime. So you're going to want it to say dolomite. Just because of the fact that it's got more magnesium in it than calcitic garden lime. Sorry about moving around all over on the camera. The bugs are out like crazy right now. But anyway, some people will say that lime will hurt your tomatoes because they like tomatoes like the soil really acidic. That's like a lie, okay? This lime that I'm putting on these tomatoes is not going to hurt them. It's actually going to help them significantly because it's got calcium, which they need to build nice, strong stalks and leaves and cell membranes. And it's got a lot of magnesium, which they're also going to need for fruiting and stuff when that comes around. And also growing. So the thing is, I'll show you. I'm just gonna show you how I put it on. I did some there on those already. I'm gonna grab just a whole handful of this stuff, and there's the base of my plant. I'm just gonna go around. A little heavy there. It doesn't matter really too much though how heavy you go within reason, because this stuff can't burn your plants. And just to prove a point on this one, I'm gonna put garden lime around it until I can't even see the ground, okay? Because I know some people are gonna be like in the comments, that plant's gonna be dead. Okay, so look at that. It looks like it just snowed right there. Nothing but garden lime. I will guarantee you, if anyone wants to take the bet, in a couple weeks or even a week from now, this plant will be doing fine. It will be healthy. It will be growing quickly, and it will not be hurt or yellow or anything like that. So I just want to let you know you can in fact use the garden lime on your plants. All right, so we're back 6 days from the previous video. So when I limed them 6 days ago, I put the garden lime on them, and you can probably tell already they're much bigger than they were in that previous video. You can look back in the segment before on this particular one. Now this is the one that I limed extremely heavy, and it's rained a couple times in between, and the lime is still sitting there on the bottom. I wasn't going to prune these plants, but I did decide to prune them, and I pruned out the suckers, which it had some pretty big suckers on it. But you can already tell, so in the other video, the top of the plant was about here, and this is just 6 days ago, all right? Now you can see there's all this above. I mean, we have 2 really big leaves coming out here. We got another, I'm gonna leave this one, this sucker, that's gonna turn into one of my leaders, and then that one there. And we also have some flowers starting. These other 2 that I limed, they're also doing much better. Let me take a step back here. I got to step way back with the onions, but they're much taller than the previous video. This one here, in the previous video, the top was right about here somewhere, and now you can see we're way up here. You can tell with the bamboo stakes kind of how much they've grown. And this has 2 leaders on it as well here. And I'm going to do the same thing with all those, just 2 main tops. So I just wanted to show you guys after 1 week, you know, how everything looks. Just to let you know that you can use the lime on tomatoes. You can use it on really anything. The pH of the soil is not going to be, you know, drastically affected. All it's going to do is neutralize it probably around a 7, which is fine for tomatoes. Some people will be like, oh, they need to be acidic. They need to have a low pH. Maybe you can do that if you want. I'm not saying those people are wrong. I'm just saying that you can look at these tomatoes, okay, and they have tons of garden lime on them. I'm sure the pH of the soil is a 7, maybe even higher. and they're doing just fine. All right, I'll show you the other tomatoes I got going on behind me here. So if you watched my garden tour video, I did a tour and I showed you all the tomatoes. I'm just going to do a quick run through kind of them real quick. They're much bigger than they were in the garden tour video, and I've been liming all these tomatoes, and I put a little bit of organic shake fertilizer and stuff down. And as you can tell, they're doing much better, much bigger. You know, they really like the lime. The stalks or the vines themselves, you can see they're much thicker, almost the thickness of my pinky on most of them, especially these Brandywine tomatoes. They're an heirloom variety. I have these spaced out about a foot, so a lot of people don't recommend that. They probably recommend spacing them out a lot more. These are spaced out about a foot though, and they're doing great. Some are, you know, bigger than others, but all around they're doing well. And especially for this time of year, it's not even July yet, so I'll probably have tomatoes off these by the 4th of July, I would imagine, or very close to that time frame. I mean, just look at the size of the stem here, or the vine. This is what I really want to emphasize. You see how thick this is? I mean, it's definitely as thick as my pinky. The thickness of your stem and your stalk is going to determine how much nutrients you can really get to the blooms and the fruit, because that's your highway that's transporting your nutrients. So you want to feed your roots, get your stalks big and thick, and then the fruit will take care of itself after that. And then I'll jump over. I do have some smaller tomatoes. These ones I thinned down just to, you can see one tomato every foot. There's a spot where I have two of them together. But we'll jump over to some tomatoes that are not, I didn't thin. I started them about 2 or 3 weeks later than these. But we'll take a look at those as well real quick here. Alright, so these are mostly Roma tomatoes. Just do a quick pan. You can see they're doing quite well. I didn't thin these down. We'll take a closer look. Most of these tomatoes here, there's 2 or 3 tomato plants in one spot, which a lot of people would say, you know, that's not ideal for many reasons. Blight, and I mean just nutrients in general. The leaves though are nice and green on all of them. Alright, they're not yellowing. I don't have any blight or anything. It's early in the year yet, so it's not real wet like it normally would be. But they're doing great. I think that I'm going to be able to manage them with this system that I'm going to have set up here with the twine and everything, with the U-posts. Not too many flowers on these ones, but they're starting to get flowers. As you can see here, let me focus. These are starting to get flowers. And once again, all I'm doing here, this soil isn't anything special. It's just dirt that was here when I moved in. I amended it with some organic, just shake fertilizer. I have the straw mulch down this year, but this is the first year I've used that, and just lime, garden lime, dolomitic garden lime. So if you have any questions or anything, let me know in the comments, and I'll obviously try to answer those. And then one thing I want to show you, just for the heck of it, is this little guy over here. Alright, this tomato, which I'm probably going to do next year and use cages for all the tomatoes. This cage is for my cucumbers all the way down. But this tomato plant was put in, this was grown inside, quite tall. I think this was planted inside maybe in March, maybe not quite around March. But I'll take you in a little closer here. We have some pretty good sized tomatoes. And we have no blossom end rot whatsoever on any of these. I can show you, there's quite a few here going all the way up. Now this plant, normally I wouldn't let it have this many leaders or this many tops, because you can see if I back up, there's quite a few tops. There's one coming down up through there, there's one here. I mean, you can see all these tops. There's one there, And then if I back up, there's a couple tops on the top of the plant, the main leader. I'm gonna run those down this trellis as far as I can without getting in the way of my cucumber plants too much. And I just want to show you, I limed the crap out of this tomato plant. You can see there's lime all over the place there, all right? Lime is how you're gonna fight the blossom end rot, okay? There's a lot of calcium, a lot of magnesium. It's gonna take care of issues like that. So I would highly recommend it. A lot of people don't, but everyone gets blossom end rot and they're like, I don't know how to fight it, or they have issues fighting it. As you can see, it's fine. And the reason is because there's not enough calcium, and they always worry about the pH of the soil, so they never use lime. I'm telling you, just use the lime, all right, on your tomatoes. The Brandywines are going to be the real test of time. Those are some big beefsteak tomatoes, so everyone gets blossom rot on those. So I'll show you when those get tomatoes. We'll take a look and see how those turn out, if they get the blossom end rot or not. But so far, these are a smaller, I think 4th of July hybrid, so they're not quite as big as a tomato, or not quite as big as a beefsteak tomato, but they're pretty good size and there's no blossom end rot. So thanks for stopping by, as always, and have a great day.